go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
Queen.
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
One of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X to my jeans and I got...
This is the sound of Image.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to the Queen Ahmadiyyah TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, please double check to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, especially if you haven't been receiving notifications. And if you have problems finding the links to the broadcast, you can always find them in my YouTube community tab and also post it to my Twitter. Okay, so let's get black into it. All right, Martell is here. Juju B in the house. Andrea, Terry Hinton. All right, Juju said Queen is Queen. Thank you, beloved. That Crazy Beach Aries. Skeletor fan in the house. Nessie X. All right, so let's go ahead and get this party started. One Who Cares is here. Anita Harrell. All right, Alice is here. Mommy. Claudette, Miss J, April, Jeff ATL. All right, so let's get into it. Now hold on. How do I have this phone up? Now here's what I just heard. Hold on. We're gonna get into it because I just saw something come in saying that the Secret Service said they weren't responsible for the rooftop where Trump was fired at. They said they weren't responsible for the rooftop. So let's get into it. Because this is all getting more and more strange as the days go by. You know what? Trump needs to be watching his back. Okay, I would be giving the Secret Service a whole side eye. Okay, specifically due to that dream that I have. And also, I've learned that there's been allegations that Biden relocated more security to Jill Biden, which took away from security from Trump. Now, that's what the word on the street is. So we're going to get into that in just a second. But first of all, everyone please like and share. Did you all hear that they dismissed Trump's charges in Florida? That a federal judge in Florida, in fact, dismissed Trump's charges for the having the possession of those classified documents? Florida judge dismisses the Trump classified case. U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon handed down her decision in a big win for the former president. Please pay attention. Special Counsel Jack Smith's office indicated it would appeal the ruling. Yeah, I definitely find this all interesting. Okay, so the federal judge overseeing Donald Trump's classified documents trial in Florida dismissed the case against the former president on Monday on the grounds that the appointment of and funding of Special Counsel Jack Smith was illegal. Now, U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon, a Trump nominee, oh, really interesting. A Trump nominee. How convenient. And mind you, they said Trump appointed 53 judges and none of them look like me. Okay, let me continue. Okay, so anyway, a Trump nominee said in her 93-page decision that Smith's appointment was unlawful and unconditional. The clerk is directed to close the case, she says. Now, Trump praised the ruling in a statement that referred to Saturday's shooting and said other criminal cases against him should be tossed out as well. Isn't that interesting? Says a source who spoke directly with Trump said that he was surprised but very happy with Cannon's decision. Now, Smith's team indicated it would appeal Cannon's decision. They said the dismissal of the case deviates from the uniform conclusion of all previous courts to have considered the issue that the Attorney General is statutorily authorized to appoint a special counsel. This is what spokesperson Peter Carr said in a statement. Now, they say the Justice Department has authorized the special counsel to appeal the court's order. Christopher Kise, an attorney for Trump, praised Cannon's ruling. Now, saying that Judge Cannon today restored the rule of law and made the right call for America. From the onset, the Attorney General and Special Counsel have ignored critical constitutional restrictions on the exercise of the prosecutorial power of the United States. Now, in an interview with NBC, President Joe Biden said that he was not surprised by Cannon's specious decision to dismiss the case. Saying the basis upon which the case was thrown out, I find egregious because I don't agree with what Clarence Thomas's dissent and or the Supreme Court decision on immunity, he says. Now, Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed Smith as a special counsel in November of 2022. tasking him with overseeing the federal investigations into Trump's handling and retention of classified documents after he left office. Now, as well as his efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. All right, so Trump's lawyers in court papers filed in February, they said that the appointments clause of the Constitution does not permit the Attorney General to appoint, without Senate confirmation, a private citizen and like-minded political ally to wield the prosecutorial power of the United States. As such, Jack Smith lacks the authority to prosecute this action. They're getting ways to get him out of all these legal troubles. I want you to pay attention. Now, the special counsel's team contended that the Attorney General has statutory authority to appoint inferior officers, and that previous court decisions have affirmed the Attorney General's authority to appoint special counsels. Okay, Cannon found the appointment was improper. They say since November of 2022, Special Counsel Smith has been exercising power that he did not lawfully have the right to possess. He didn't lawfully possess it. All actions that flowed from his defective appointment, including his seeking of the superseded indictment on which this proceeding currently hinges, were unlawful exercises of executive power. So basically talking about an abuse of power, like he didn't even have the power to do this stuff and was doing it anyway. Please pay attention. It's unclear whether Cannon's ruling could affect the case against Biden, the president's son. In her decision, Cannon specifically contrasts Smith's appointment with Wace because Wace was already a U.S. attorney and Smith was a private citizen by the time he was appointed. Now, Hunter Biden's attorneys did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Smith will be able to appeal the dismissal to the 11th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals. That court will certainly hear the case and most likely hold oral arguments. However, even if the appeal were to be heard on an expedited basis, and even if the appeals court were to overturn Cannon's ruling, the ruling all but guarantees the classified documents case could not go to trial before the election. Yeah, this is interesting. Now, the ruling doesn't have any immediate impact on the federal election interference case. The only courts that can direct the judge in that case, U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan, to rule in a particular matter are the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court. Trump was first charged in the case in June of 2023, and the indictment accused him of lying and scheming. Something he's done all his life, as far as I'm concerned. That's alleged. But lying and scheming to mislead federal investigators to retain sensitive materials that he knew were still classified after he left the White House. They say the indictment also alleged that the documents he took with him included information regarding defense and weapons capabilities of both the U.S. and the foreign countries, United States nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities of the United States and its allies to military attack, and plans for a possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. Now, in August of 2022, the FBI executed a search warrant on Trump's Florida estate and found over 100 classified documents there, despite having been assured by Trump's attorneys that all such documents had been returned. So just lying. He was later charged with trying to obstruct the investigation. He pleaded not guilty to those charges, to all of them, in fact. Cannon's involvement preceded Trump's being charged. In 2022, she temporarily halted the FBI's review of the documents that had been recovered at Mar-a-Lago and granted Trump's request for a special master to review the evidence. A panel of appeals court judges overturned that ruling, suggesting Cannon had tried to carve out an unprecedented exception in our law for former presidents. So anyway, honey, this is all a whole lot. Please pay attention. So what do you all think about all of it? Trump going to get off on anything he was accused of. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. They're already setting the wheels in motion. Please pay attention. Okay, they're already setting the wheels in motion. So now let's go to what Newt Gingrich said, because they say that they gave more of the security to Jill Biden, and that's why they were lacking in security for Trump. Please pay attention. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Let me put my overlay up.
Failed to comprehend from about here to those gates right there is about 120 yards. Yeah. We could see it just so the audience can. How is it possible that you have on a roof. There's not that many roofs in Butler, Pennsylvania. This is not Gotham City.
Well, by any standard, there should have been police on the roof. I mean,
at minimum.
That's standard operating procedure. Now, I did see an article, and I've just sent some notes to guys in Congress asking them to verify it. But there is an article that came out a little while ago that part of Trump's detail had been transferred to Jill Biden.
Jill Biden.
Jill Biden, not Joe.
Oh, Jill?
Jill, Dr. Jill.
Yeah,
under the protocol that a first lady outranks a former president. Now, this is mindless, but remember, this is the Biden administration that has for months refused to protect Robert Kennedy Jr. But think to yourself, I mean, how grotesque is it when you have somebody whose father and uncle were both assassinated to tell them we're not going to protect you? It tells you what mean, nasty people the Biden team is.
Actually legal, right? And the executive.
So I find that all very interesting. And yes, they did tell Robert F. Kennedy, I reported that to you, that they don't want to give him security. Okay? They don't want to give him security. And in fact, gave Jill Biden more protection. Yeah, I find it all interesting. Biden is low down and dirty. Pretty Wing says Secret Service should have had 360 security. That is crazy. Well, I think it was all by design, beloved. But here now they're saying, according to this news clip I'm about to show, they're saying that the Secret Service said they weren't even responsible for the rooftops. So what y'all talking about, honey? That's what they said. They said y'all is all cap. Please pay attention. Let me go to it.
Attempt on former President Trump is pointing to some serious flaws in security at the rally. More video from the scene appears to show bystanders trying to warn police just before the shooting happened. Look at this cell phone video showing rally attendees pointing towards the shooter. Look, he's there on the roof, crawling up there, a full 2 minutes before firing on the former president. Now, the sheriff in Butler County, Pennsylvania, says his department, which was on the scene, they said they weren't responsible for sweeping the roof where the shooter set up to take aim at the former president.
The sheriff's office was not asked to do that, and I don't know whose responsibility that would have been.
Sources tell CBS News the Secret Service didn't clear it either. But a source with direct knowledge of the incident also tells CBS News that 3 snipers from local law enforcement were staged within that building. They were inside the building, literally while the shooter was on top of it. They observed the shooter acting suspiciously. They radioed into command that he was using a rangefinder and had a backpack. But by the time help arrived, it was too late.
I'm sorry, say what now? They were inside the building while the shooter was on top. Now, somebody make that make sense. Why would they be inside the building when Trump was outside and all of the event was going on outside? This is all so ridiculous. Okay, I'm sorry, but this seems like it was absolutely by design. Okay, it seems like it was all done by design. All right, please pay attention. I absolutely believe my dream even more so now. So anyway, with that all being said, this Biden interview on Trump, let's get into it. Because here's what he had to say. Now, you all remember that I reported to you on Saturday how Biden had made those nefarious comments about putting the bullseye on Trump. Okay, so he speaks on that. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
You spoke to Mr. Trump afterward. Can you give me a sense of that conversation?
Very cordial. I told him how concerned I was and wanted to make sure I knew how he was actually doing. He sounded good. He said he was fine. And he thanked me for calling him. I told him he was literally in the prayers of Jill and me. And I hope his whole family was weathering this. I feel safe with the Secret Service, but look, and you saw, what we did see was the Secret Service who responded risked their lives in responding. They're ready to give their lives to the president. The question is, should they have anticipated what happened? Or should they have done what they needed to do to prevent this from happening? That's a question that's an open question.
Are you seeing what they saw, which was moments of, frankly, that appeared to be, you appeared to be confused?
Lester, look, why don't you guys ever talk about the 28 lies he told? Where are you on this? Why didn't the press ever talk about that?
Who do you listen to on deeply personal issues like the decisions whether to stay in the race or not?
Me.
He didn't say himself, did he? That's the last person needs to listen to if you ask the Queen. I find it also interesting. So now they don't know the security protocol. They didn't have a discussion about this. They didn't get together and say, you go here, we go there. The different agencies didn't interact, didn't have a plan of communication. So the police didn't know if they were supposed to be on the roof. The Secret Service didn't know if they were supposed to be on the roof. What's really going on here? How does anyone not know the protocol? What's supposed to go down? So everybody's saying they didn't know. This is all such BS. So please pay attention. Okay, this is all a load of BS. So anyway, let's talk about the woman who was her husband was killed during all of this. Okay, and she says that she spoke to Trump. Now, the reason I think she came out and said she spoke to Trump is because there was a rumor going around that they were saying that Trump didn't even bother to call the victims or anything like that, and that Biden did. So here's what she says. Lights up, everyone, please like and share. She said she did, in fact, speak to Trump. Now, the widow of the man who was killed at former President Trump's rally on Saturday said she has spoken to the former president. Helen Contemporary, who lost her husband, Corey Contemporary, shared a post on social media that she exchanged words with Trump after the assassination attempt. She said he was very kind. Said he would continue to call me in the weeks ahead. Now, Contemporary said the former president said her 50-year-old husband left this world a hero, and God welcomed him in. Contemporary's sister, Kelly Contemporary Meter, said the family had spoken to other Trump campaign officials on Monday evening, and they had declined an invitation to speak to President Biden. Contemporary told the New York Post that she didn't want to talk to Biden because her husband was a devout Republican and wouldn't have wanted that. These people are something else. Corey Contemporary was a volunteer firefighter and father of two. His wife said he shouted, "Get down," when the shots rang out at Butler, Pennsylvania, at the rally on Saturday. And he used his body to shield his family from bullets. Contemporary said he had no ill will towards Joe Biden because he didn't do any, or said she had no ill will towards Joe Biden because he didn't do anything bad to my husband. A 20-year-old despicable kid did. Now, the shooting suspect has been identified as 20-year-old Thomas Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. He allegedly climbed a building adjacent to where Trump was giving a speech and fired off shots. He was killed by Secret Service, okay? So anyway, what do you all think about that? She didn't want to talk to Biden, honey. Pay attention. Now, as is to be expected, they claim that they're beefing up Trump's security. The stepped-up security around Trump is apparent, with agents walling him off from the RNC crowds. So they say, on the floor of the Republican National Convention Tuesday evening, Vice Presidential candidate J.D. Vance greeted and shook hands with excited delegates as he walked toward his seat. It was a marked contrast from former President Donald Trump, who entered the hall a few minutes later and was separated from the supporters by a column of Secret Service agents. His ears still bandaged after an attempted assassination, Trump closely hugged the wall. Instead of handshakes or hellos for those gathered, he offered fist pumps to the camera. Fight, fight, fight. Now I want you to pay attention because they've been clowning Trump. about that nefarious bandage that he has on his ear. Have you all seen it? Have you all seen that bandage on Trump's ear? Somebody said he had a pillowcase on his ear. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a picture. Trump is something else. Here we go. Y'all see it? Ha! Now, is that really necessary? Is that really necessary? Trump looks like he has a 20 bag, okay, a dub sack. He looks like he got a whole dub sack on his ear. Please pay attention. All right. But let me continue. Because what do I know about dub sacks? So anyway, goes on to say, the contrast underscores the new reality facing Trump after a gunman opened fire at his rally in Pennsylvania Saturday, raising serious questions about the agency that is tasked with protecting the president, former presidents, and major party candidates as well. Trump's campaign must also adjust to a new reality after he came millimeters from death or serious injury, and as law enforcement warns of the potential for more political violence. Trump campaign officials declined to comment on the stepped-up security and how it might impact his interactions moving forward. They said, "We do not comment on President Trump's security detail. All questions should be directed to the United States Secret Service." This is what Trump's campaign spokesperson Stephen Chione said. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, whose agency oversees the Secret Service, said Monday that he could not discuss specifics of the protection or the enhancements that are made, as they involve sensitive tactics and procedures. Said that, "I can say, however, that personnel and other protective resources, technology, and capabilities have been added." Now, the Secret Service had already stepped up Trump's protection in the days before the attack, following an unrelated threat from Iran. Two U.S. officials gave this information on Tuesday, but that extra security didn't stop the gunman who fired from an adjacent roof from killing one audience member and injuring two others along with Trump. Now, the FBI and Homeland Security officials remain concerned about the potential for follow-up on or retaliatory acts of violence following this attack, according to a joint intelligence bulletin by Homeland Security and the FBI and obtained by the Associated Press. The bulletin warned that lone actors and small groups will continue to see rallies and campaign events as attractive targets. Underscoring the security risk, a man armed with an AK-47 pistol, wearing a ski mask and carrying a tactical backpack, was taken into custody Monday near the Deserve Forum where the convention was being held. The attack has led to stepped-up security not only for Trump. President Joe Biden's security has also been bolstered, with more agents surrounding him as he boarded Air Force One to Las Vegas on Monday night. Independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has also received Secret Service protection in the wake of the shooting. Yeah, Biden decided to give it to him. He didn't want to give it to him at first. And so anyway, I'm not going to read all of this, but so there you have it. So there you have it. Now let me tell you all, let me play for you what Dr. Umar said. Let me make sure I have it. Don't tell me I deleted it. I accidentally deleted it, but I wanted you all to see what Dr. Umar, wanted you to hear what Dr. Umar had to say. Anyway, some other time. But let's talk about this. Now, this is an old story. Oh, and also, hold on, let me say this. There was a homeless man that was shot dead by the police not too far from the RNC. They say out-of-state officers shot and killed a man wielding two knives blocks away from the RNC, according to police. Now, Ohio police officers in Wisconsin for the Republican National Convention shot and killed a man who was wielding two knives near the convention, according to Milwaukee's police chief on Tuesday. 5 members of the Columbus, Ohio Police Department fired on the man who had a knife in each hand. He also refused police commands and charged at an unarmed man before police fired. Okay, Milwaukee Chief Jeffrey Norman gave a conference on this The 2 knives were recovered from the scene. Police released the body cam footage that showed officers on bikes talking before one of them says, "He's got a knife." Several officers then yell, "Drop the knife," as they run toward the 2 men standing in the street. Now, when the armed man moved toward the unarmed man, police fired their weapons. Someone's life was in danger, Norman says. These officers were not from this area, but took it upon themselves to act and save someone's life today. Thousands of officers from multiple jurisdictions are in Milwaukee providing additional security for the convention that began Monday and concludes on Thursday. And the shooting fueled anger from residents who questioned why out-of-state officers were in their neighborhood located about a mile from the convention site. So people are upset about them killing this homeless man. The Columbus Division of Police, as well as the chief of staff for Milwaukee's mayor and a spokesperson for the convention's Joint Command Center, all said there was nothing to suggest the shooting was related to the convention itself. Now, a cousin and others identified the man that lost his life as 43-year-old Samuel Sharp. Milwaukee residents and activists quickly converged on the site of the shooting, many of them expressing outrage about the involvement of a police department in town because of the convention. About 100 people held a vigil and marched without incident on Tuesday night, pausing for a moment of silence at the bloodstained spot where Sharp lost his life. They said they came into our community and shot down our family right here at a public park. This is what Linda Sharp, a cousin of the man who was killed, says. "What are you doing in our city, shooting people down?" Now, Linda Sharp said her cousin lived in a tent encampment across the street from King Park, now where the shooting occurred. Residents said the encampment was a long-standing feature of the neighborhood, which is home to several social service clinics and a shelter. Some said Milwaukee police officers are familiar with many of those living in the tents and might have been able to de-escalate the situation. Well, we know how that goes with the police. Most police officers shoot first and ask questions later, if at all. Now, David Porter, who said he knew Samuel Sharp, is also homeless. He was angry that the officers from outside of Milwaukee were in his neighborhood. He said if MPD would have been there, that man would still be alive right now. Now, Norman, the Milwaukee chief, said 13 officers who were part of a bicycle patrol from Columbus were within their assigned zone having a meeting when they saw the altercation. Said the officers observed a subject with a knife in each hand engaged in an altercation with another unarmed individual, and they only fired after the armed man ignored multiple commands. They said this is a situation where somebody's life was in immediate danger. Now, the Columbus Division of Police has received attention because of its special unit deployed to Milwaukee that works to improve police-community relationships and had a visible role in guiding the largely uneventful protests. So the shooting happened near King Park, roughly 1 mile from the convention center, where a small group of protesters gathered before marching on Monday. That demonstration was followed by dozens of Columbus police officers wearing blue vests that read Columbus Police Dialogue. And they say the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office said an autopsy is scheduled for Wednesday. So rest in peace to the man and his family. Condolences. What do you all say? Now, they did say the man had two knives, one in each hand. He likely had mental health issues. Waverville said he has to be black. Yes, I believe so. Okay, Dan said, right. What the hell was Ohio doing there? Okay, so anyway, like I said, condolences to his family. May he rest in peace. Bad enough being homeless, then shot dead. And like I said, he likely had mental health issues. Okay, so but here's the thing. Oh, here's that Dr. Umar clip. Okay, I got it. I know I had it. Hold on. Now I'm gonna play this because Dr. Umar is so dramatic sometimes. But I'm gonna play this. And then we gotta talk about this story that happened like 5 years ago. But the young man that happened to is suing the police. So let's get into it. Like up, everyone, please like and share.
The reason black folks are so comfortable being oppressed, the reason you are so comfortable with the white man's foot on your neck is you are waiting for the white man to finally accept you. Lord have mercy. You are waiting for the white man to finally accept you. Your imam and your preacher has convinced you that this world is ran by the Bible and the Quran. I said your imam and your preacher has convinced you that your world is ran by the Bible and the Quran. And because you think you live in an Islamic world, and because you think you live in a Christian world, you are sitting around waiting for the white man to become a good Muslim and a good Christian and to finally accept your black ass. And I'm here to tell you, it's never going to happen. I'm here to tell you, it's never going to happen. You waiting for the white man to wake up and say, you know what? I am sorry. Black people are waiting for a deep, honest, sincere, heartfelt apology from the man who has had his foot on our necks for 500 years. You're never going to get that apology. You are never going to get that apology.
You all heard what it said. Dr. Umar, how can you not like Dr. Umar? He's just unapologetically black. That's what he is. Okay, so now let's talk about this, because this is a story that I happened to see on Instagram yesterday, and I said, wait a minute, I've never heard of this. Okay, I never heard of this, but it's a story of a black teenager who was in fact riding with his white grandmother, and he looks... But nonetheless, the police pulled him over and said that they heard that he was robbing these elderly ladies. So let's get into it, because I think that's all cap. Okay, so here we go. Lights up, everyone, please like and share. I'm going to share my screen and put an overlay up, and we're going to get into it.
Of a black teenager in Wisconsin is considering legal action after the teen was handcuffed over an apparent false robbery call. Wauwatosa Police Department cameras captured Sunday's incident. Akil Carter was riding in a car with his white grandmother. Police say they pulled the car over after getting a tip that two black males were robbing a white woman nearby. Michelle Miller shows why the family's attorney is questioning the story from the police. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. They are indeed. A police spokesperson says the officers responded appropriately and released the teen as soon as they realized there was a misunderstanding. Still, the family wonders how this potentially dangerous situation could have happened in the first place.
Come out with your hands up, face away from us.
After ordering 18-year-old Akil Carter out of his grandmother's car,
Hands up high in the air. Face away from us. Walk to the sidewalk.
police placed him in handcuffs and ordered him into the back of a squad car.
Officer Gabriel's going to get some information from you, okay?
Grandmother Paulette Barr had just left church and was driving Akil to work when police stopped them. Officers say they initially started following them after an African-American man and woman identified the vehicle. They said it was carrying a white woman who was being robbed by two black men. But police say they never got a formal statement from those witnesses because they left the area. The family's attorney is skeptical.
It seems strange that for all the dash cam footage the police have turned over, we have not seen anything where the officer's interacting with these people.
After Carter was detained, an officer is seen exiting the patrol car with his gun outside the holster. Officers then approached the teen's grandmother.
Is everything okay? That's your grandson? Yes.
Police say Carter was handcuffed for approximately 6 minutes.
Well, I'm guessing what this sounds like is a really big misunderstanding.
After the teen was released, a witness captured his grandmother's reaction.
That's your grandson? Wow.
The family's attorney says even if the police account is accurate, the officers clearly overreacted.
Any random person can run up to a police officer now and say, stop that car, it's engaged in a robbery, and that's all it takes.
The family's attorney says the frightening encounter left the grandmother feeling helpless, wondering what she could have done to protect her grandson.
Yeah, a lot of questions there, Michelle Miller. Thank you. A lot of people are wondering, that's your grandson.
Now I want you all to pay attention because the police were lying when they said that someone told them that they were being robbed in that car. Nobody told them that. You know they were lying. They made that crap up. And here's the thing. You specifically know they were lying because they said an African-American stopped them and told them. An African-American couple, what black folk do you know will stop the police? Now, if they saw something like that, they would call 911. But how often do you see black people stopping police? And second of all, why would black people racially profile them? Because whoever, if anybody had even called them, which they did, they're lying. I'm telling you, they're lying. If anybody had even saw that and called them, they were lying because they weren't even being robbed. And there was nothing that he was doing in the car with them to make it look as though he was robbing them. They're just riding along. So this was all a made-up story, just a way to justify why they racially profiled and stopped that car. That's what that was. Racial profiling. If you all remember, just a few years ago, about 4 years ago, I believe it was, when the black guy who was a coach and he had the little white kids. Do you all remember that? He was keeping the two little white kids. And then the Karen called the police because she saw him leaving Subway from buying them something to eat and saw them getting into his car. And she says, well, can I talk to them? He says, no, they don't know you. Like, who is she to think that she has the authority to question these children about who he is? This comes from slavery. Many of these wanton supremacists still think that they have possession or control or have the right to stop us and question us. Where are your papers? Whose plantation are you from? Who's your master? This is what some of them think. And they will act accordingly. Now, she called the police on that black man, and then the police pulled him over and then had to question him in front of those children. And when the parents found out, they were pissed off. But that's all because he was black and they were white. Didn't look like he was doing anything to them. So black people can't be riding in the same car with white folks. A black person, adult, can't be around white children. That's interesting because during slavery and during Jim Crow, all of it, black women were the ones taking care of white children. Were they not? Raising the white children. Were they not? They fed their white babies the milk from the breast of black women during slavery. Did they not? But think about how they didn't want us to drink out of their water fountains. How does it even make sense? It just lets you know how ignorant, obtuse racists are. They didn't want us drinking out of their water fountains, but they would let black women breastfeed their kids because they knew that milk was much more nutritious and healthy. So I want you all to pay attention. This is what still goes on right here in 2024, about to be 2025. This is still what persists. But you have people like Uncle Tim Scott, all right, and Uncle Ben Carson, and Kabami Harris, who want to tell us, and Candace Owens, who want to tell us that there's no such thing as racism in this country anymore, that we're all just playing the victim card, that we're always just asking for handouts. This is what they do. I want you all to pay attention. Now this young man is suing them. So let's talk about it. Like, so everyone, please like and share. I mean, the nerve. They have no problem traumatizing black children and teenagers. They have no problem at all whatsoever. And there was a video that I saw years ago, like I told you all on Facebook, and that video was snatched down so quick, and they've scrubbed it from the internet. But there was a video that I saw where there was a black child. It was a boy. He was about 13 or 14 years old. He was anywhere, I would say, between 12 to 14 years old, from the looks of him. And he was walking down the road, and the police chased him, and they shot him 4 times. In his back, on the side. And when the boy fell to the ground, the police walks over and says, sit up. He literally makes this child who's been shot about 4 times sit up. He's lying on the ground. He tells him to sit up. And then he proceeds to handcuff him. Now, I never saw anything so heinous, low down, dirty, wicked, and savage. Okay? Never saw anything like that with my own 2 eyes. Because that was even worse to me than what I saw them do to George Floyd. They did that to a child who's lying there dying shots multiple times, and you're telling him to sit up? So you can put handcuffs on. And what is this whole thing with them, this fetish they seem to have with wanting to handcuff a person who's already dead or dying? Let's not forget the airman who was shot months ago, just a few months ago, and how after he was shot, the police still yelling, drop the gun. He didn't even have the gun at that point. The cop knew it. Okay, nothing but a ruse. But let me continue. So here's what they say. Like stuff, everyone please like and share. So they're going to say, black man sues Wisconsin police officers who detained him while he was with his white grandmother. So a black man riding with his white grandmother was ordered to get out of his vehicle and forced to get on his knees by police at gunpoint. Oh, not on his knees? Why do you have to get on his knees? Here's the thing. Let's just stop for a second before I go any further, because this really ticks me off. Now, mind you, even if someone actually had told them this, which no one did, it's all lies and cap, and I'm telling you, and I'm not saying it, I'm telling you it's lies. Because first of all, if somebody told the police that in real life, don't you think they would have at least taken a statement? What are they going to put in their report? They would take a statement, they would at least get the names, of the tag, the license information from the people. Which way did they go? They would ask questions. So somebody just rolled up beside them and said, hey, there's somebody there in a blue Lexus, and two guys, they're robbing, they're carjacking these old white women. And the police just drove off in pursuit. That's not how the police work. That's not what they do. And like the lady said, if that was the facts, if that was really the case, then that would mean that anyone anywhere could just stop the police and say, hey, somebody's committing a crime over here. They're doing this, that, and the third. You know why the police wouldn't fall for that? Because first of all, that could be a diversion. What if people just going around doing that, so the police go this way, but a crime's about to happen over here? Get your hand out my pocket. Some type of diversion tactic. So they don't do that. Who do they think they're fooling? And then specifically, like I told you, when they said an African-American couple, that's when you knew they were lying. Because the only ones that call in fake fraudulent police reports and lie on black folk is white folk. Okay, that's who does that, the Karens and the Kens. But let me continue. Now, goes on to say that a black man was riding with his white grandmother when he was ordered out of the car and forced to get on his knees by the police at gunpoint. He was then arrested and placed in the back of a police car, all because he was black. Now he has filed a federal lawsuit against the police officers. And here's the thing. Now, when they stopped the car, why isn't the first thing they said to the women, hey, are you all okay? What's going on? Is he doing anything to you? We got a report that such and such. No, they didn't do that. They just stopped the car, ordered him down to his knees with a gun pointed, and then handcuffed him and put him in the back of the car. Now they want to go ask questions. How does that work? Goes on to say, now, according to the media, police officers from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, only stopped and detained Akil Carter because he was a black man in a blue Lexus with his grandmother, Paulette Barr, who is white, and was sitting in the passenger seat. Her friend Sandra Adams, who is also white, was in the driver's seat navigating the car. Why wouldn't they ask the driver if everything's okay? When you conduct a stop, even if you think something suspicious has been alleged to have happened, why wouldn't you ask the driver? Let me continue. So Carter was only 18 years of age when this happened, nearly 5 years ago in September of 2018. Now, the two white women, Barr and Adams, testified at the trial, explaining to the jury of 4 white women, and 3 white men, that when the police officers' lights came on behind them, they were clueless as to why they were being pulled over. The police officer who pulled them over, Officer Patrick Kane, claimed that while in his squad car, another man he referred to as a tipster had made a U-turn and pulled over to him to tell him that there was a robbery going down. He said the man told him that the alleged crime was taking place in a blue Lexus at the next intersection. Kane admitted that the tipster never disclosed how he knew that the alleged crime was happening or how he saw what was supposedly taking place. And yeah, that's how you know he's lying, because you didn't ask him. But stated that this tipster seemed adamant about the robbery going down. Kane then went to go pull the blue Lexus over. The police officer then stated it was a high-risk traffic stop and called for backup. Dash camera video shows Kane pulling out his .40 caliber Glock service weapon as he heads toward the car. Another police officer is placing Carter in handcuffs after being instructed to get out of the car with his hands up. He's been instructed to the sidewalk and walk backward toward the police officers. Now the officers, this is all crazy. They then proceed to take Carter back to the police car and place him in the back of the squad car. After going back to the car that Carter was riding in, Kane is told that he is her grandson. He tells Barr that he was given the wrong information and only apologized for receiving bad information, but not for the arrest. Dirty dog. Let me continue. Carter was held for 6 minutes after they decided to release him. Okay, before they decided to release him, according to defense attorneys. Now, Carter's attorney, Joy Bertrand, expressed to the jury that the police officers violated Carter's Fourth Amendment right, okay, the foundation of this case and freedom. Now, Bertrand argued that they had no evidence of proof that a crime was even being committed in the blue Lexus. Carter will be taking the stand in the case as well, and he's suing for damages in the civil case as he said he suffered emotional distress and trauma following the traffic stop. I just want you all to pay attention. Just low down, okay? This is what they do. This is what they do. Now, do you all remember when they had that black attorney general? Do you all remember that black attorney general that was pulled over by that cop who was clearly racially profiling her? Hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Yeah, this was about 7 years ago. Hold on, I'm going to go to this. Now I want you all to see this. I want you all to see this.
Try this. And throughout the...
To Florida.
Now listen to the lies these fools are sitting up here telling. Please pay attention. Okay, I know this is an old story, but I still remember how they were sitting up there lying betwixt their teeth.
Florida police officers are facing scrutiny for pulling over Aramis Ayala, who happens to be the first black state attorney elected in Florida history. This body camera footage posted by the Orlando Police Department is making the rounds on social media. This happened in June. Take a look.
What agency are you with?
I'm the state attorney.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Your tag didn't come back. Never seen that before. I'm sorry? Yeah, we're good now.
So it was...
We ran the tag. I've never seen it before. A Florida tag. It's never come back to anything before. So that's the reason for the stop.
What was the tag run for?
I'm sorry?
What was the tag run for?
Oh, we run tags all the time, whether it's at traffic lights and that sort of stuff. That's how we figure out if, cars are stolen and that sort of thing. Also, the windows are really dark. I don't have a tint measurer, but that's another reason for the stop.
All right. Do you guys have cards on you?
Yeah, 1 second. Actually, this isn't my car, but I can write my name down if you'd like.
Yeah, you put my name.
1, 5, 7. Ready. There you are. Have a good day.
The Florida prosecutor is currently in a dispute with Florida Governor Rick Scott over his decision to remove her from 24 murder cases after she announced she would not seek the death penalty for a suspect accused of killing a police officer.
Now, I want you all to pay attention to that, okay? He had all the lies and excuses. Now, pay attention. First, he said, yeah, I've never seen that before. The reason for the stop was your tag never came back. I mean, it came back with nothing. I've never seen. First of all, how the hell does somebody's tag get ran and it comes back with nothing?
Your tag came back and it came back with nothing. I've never seen that happen before. Oh, okay. So conveniently, in my case, it didn't come back as anything. And then when she hit him with, why were you running the tag in the first place? Oh, we run tags all the time. Yeah, black people's tags. They're not lying. He's not lying. They do. We run tags all the time, you know, just to see if the car's stolen or whatever. Oh, so because she's black and driving a nice car, you want to make sure it wasn't stolen. See, he's telling on himself. He's telling on himself that he was racially profiling her and being biased and racist. We do it all the time to make sure the car's not stolen. And then he says, plus the tent was stopped. That was the real reason for the initial stop. No, you said that the real reason for the initial stop was because you ran her tag and it came back with nothing. And you've never seen that happen. You then said that you always run tags to make sure a car is not stolen. But now, when he realizes what he just said, because now it's clicking that, oh shit, I just told her that we ran her tag because we thought her car was stolen and she's black. Yikes. Maybe I should just tell her that the real reason we pulled you over, because we thought you were just a regular black Negro, not a state attorney. We thought you were a black non-state attorney. Please sit down somewhere, sir. Please sit down somewhere. This is what they do. This is what they do, okay? Maybe those that I have police friends, they tell the business. Yes, I have police friends too. Okay, I went to school with some of them. Okay, we all went to school for criminal justice. At one time, I thought about being a police myself. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is this. Wicked and nefarious people. All right? Wicked and nefarious. This is what they do. Terry Harper said, thinking we don't have thinking skills. Exactly. Sitting there telling all them lies. And you can tell when somebody's lying. And here's the thing. I like that she asked him, why were you running the tag in the first place? Because he thought he was out of there. What branch you work with? What division you work with? I'm state attorney. Oh, okay. Well, we're good now. Yeah, your tag didn't come back with anything. I've never seen that happen. He thought he was just going to skirt up out of there, and that's the end of it. Nobody to explain yourself. Because the more you get somebody like him to talk, the more that lies you're going to tell. And then when they're telling these lies off the top of their head with questions they didn't know were coming, that's when you can tell that they're lying and they start telling themselves. And they start saying ignorant things. Timber Dad said she asked excellent questions. She was on to them. Yes. She already knew what it was from the moment she saw them walking up to her car. Anyway, with that all being said, like stuff, everyone please like and share. All right. Like and share. Thank you for tuning in once again. And yeah, I'm about to be up out of here. Okay, and for those of you who follow the spiritual channel, we will be live on the spiritual channel at 6:15. Okay, 6:15. So make sure you tune in. All right. Anyway, if the queen was the popo, I'd get arrested for nothing at all. I'm just saying, it's just re-educated. Re-educated. So sit down somewhere. All right. So listen, I love you all to life. Each one teach one. Is how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Now, listen, I will see you all that follow the spiritual channel at 6:15, all right, on Queen Ahmadiyyah TV, More Than Meets the Third Eye. Till next time, peace.
Hey, yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor. All in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got